What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, today we're installing a mini split. Turbro mini split. Yep, you heard me. Turbro. So we're installing this today, and I'm going to walk you through how it all went and through the experience I had. It went very well, so a spoiler alert on that. But there's one thing that I did wrong, and I'm going to see if I can help you not do the same thing. Well, it's cold standing in front of this. Now, installing this, it went very well. Unboxing it also went well. As you can see on the bottom, well, maybe you can't see, but the bottom of this box was ripped open from the shipper. Not the end of the world. There was one thing missing, and it was the tube for the lines to go outside, the little sleeve, which isn't the end of the world. I went to my local hardware store and we picked up a PVC pipe, a 3-inch PVC pipe, and we used that instead, and it worked just fine. Once I got this all unboxed, I read through the instructions and I got out the jigs and the templates. I then marked the holes in the wall so I can install the screws for the bracket for this mini split to hang from. It went really easy and really simple. I honestly probably would have had this all done in an hour if I wasn't missing that piece and I had to do some running around. I cut the hole in the wall and I was not recording. I must not have hit record. I am sorry, that is my fault. But I used a long bit, and then we used a hole saw to cut through the wall and through the siding. I then put this PVC in pipe, and then I put some silicone around the edge. Alright, so we want to go black to L1. And white to L2. Red is S. And then the ground wire is the last one. It's straight across from it is another wire. It looks the same. Then we're going to take this white deal, and that's going to go put the wire in the holder, clamp her down. This was rolling around in there, and I'm assuming it's supposed to go in like this, but there's no screw for it, so I'm not going to put it in. We'll take this, put this back. We put the unit through the wall and snapped it into place, and then on the outside all you have to do is hook up all of your line. So what I'm going to do here is I have it where the coil is going to go down behind it and just rest on the stand. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so what we're going to do is take these caps off, and when you take them off you're going to hear a hissing noise. That's nitrogen in there leaking out. That's good, because then you know there's no holes and this wasn't damaged. I have some sewing machine oil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of it on the fitting, the flare end. Only like a drop. Just for, so when it meets up, it seals nice and tight. That's what a pipe fitter told me, so I'm going to do it. He does it for a living, so it must work. Alright, so now I'm going to take a little tiny dab. One little dab, he said, just a tiny bit. That's it. Just basically so when it starts to turn, it goes on supposedly really good. So you gotta be careful. You don't want to bend this and break it, or kink it, I should say. Okay. One down, one more to go. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing. Tighten this one right away. This is where I came into a problem. When I did this, I had all of it tightened down, and then I rearranged some of the hoses and I worked some of it loose. By doing that, it leaked out the refrigerant. So I had to hire a company to come out and fill it up with refrigerant and make sure there's no more leaks. Putting on the bracket in the wall, we ran into a situation, and it's called for a 1/2 inch hole, and it is not a 1/2 inch hole. You have to use a 3/8 inch hole for the anchors if you're going into concrete. If you're not going into concrete, don't worry about it. This does not apply to you. I did not do the electrical myself. In my area, we have, it's called off-peak, and we hired an electrician to come out and install that wire for us, and it went pretty smooth, and now it's all hooked up to my off-peak, so that is good and ready to go. Before the electrician came out, I had a company come out and do the vacuum, and you have to do a vacuum on the line, and once they did that, it was all charged, ready to go, and then the electrician comes out and hooked that all up. Once the electrician was done, it was running great, and was running for a week until I went out there and I started moving the coil around to position in a better way and to hide most of it, and that's when we came in the problem, and some of the fittings came loose from me moving everything around. So they had to come back out, fill it back up with refrigerant, and now it's up and going again, and it has been awesome. It's made working in this garage so much easier. You have no idea. We've had 90-degree days, and yes, it is September, in the middle of September, and we're in Minnesota. 90-degree days is not normal, and this thing kept this shop 70 degrees, no problem. It was great. I am not kidding. This was the best ever. And this is the best thing I've ever done in this garage since I've been in here. So we will see this winter, and I'll make another video how this does. The company said it does very well, all the way down to 5 degrees. So I'm also going to get a propane heater for in here, and I'll make a video on that. And we're going to have this heating during the day to warm up the shop and keep everything nice and warm in here. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll make a video on that and go from there. But so far, it's been great. So if you are unfamiliar with mini splits, there's 2 baffles in the inside here, and they swing back and forth as it's blowing the air. So it's always constantly moving air in here, and I think that's what's the huge thing about this, is it's keeping it so level in the AC. It's not cold down here or up here. It's not hot. It's consistency, and that's what I really like. It has another thing. It moves the levers, or this one will go up and down. I don't do that because it messes with my machine, so I don't want that, but that's another option you can do for when you're heating or cooling. I'm just really shocked on how quiet this is in here, but also outside. You can't hear it run. Other than that, it's pretty easy to run. The remote, it has a remote that comes with it. You pick your temp, you pick if you want cold, heat, or auto, or if you just want a fan on. I mean, it's simple. Well, hope you guys liked the video, and that's all I got for you. Glad you got to see me again. Bye.